A big hi to all the IELTS aspirants out there. Has it ever happened to you that you start giving response to your question from IELTS Speaking Part 3 and halfway through you realize that you've just gone completely off track? Now, this happens with a lot of candidates. So through this video, we're going to bring forth a few such scenarios to show why students lose track and, more importantly, how to stay on topic by giving relevant and clear answers. So let's begin. What kinds of books were popular in your country?
Well, I think there are a lot of different kinds of books that are popular in India right now. I think fiction and especially biographies are very popular. Self-help books are also very popular nowadays. It's all the hype with everyone trying to improve themselves. So I think these are the kinds of books that are really popular now.
Well, now that you have listened to the response of the candidate, did you notice any mistakes? What was the question? What kinds of books were popular in your country? Which means that it is referring to the past. But how was the response? The response came in the present tense. Even though the candidate spoke fluently and confidently, this lack of coherence can impact his score. Now, shall we listen to a right version?
So in India, especially in the past, the publishing kinds of books vary a lot, and there weren't as many genres back then compared to now. So I would say back then biographies were a lot more popular, and compared to now it's not really in the same vein, because back then we had a lot more, it was a lot fewer amount of people that were writing and getting published. So it was mostly biographies of famous people and about history in general.
Do you think children should be given smartphones at an early age?
Well, children use smartphones for a lot of things nowadays. They like to play games on them, watch videos, and generally just use them whenever they have free time. So children just like to spend all their time on these things, and I'm not really certain how many children are actually doing this.
Oops, what went wrong here? The question was, do you think children should be given smartphones at an early age? So basically this question is looking for the opinion of the candidate. Of course, the candidate spoke extensively regarding the use of smartphone by children, but he did not state his opinion. So when such questions come, which demands for the opinion of the candidate, the response should start off by stating the opinion and then provide explanations and examples to justify the same. So shall we listen to a right version? Here we go.
Well, I think children should not be given smartphones at really young ages, because these are their prime developmental ages, and this is the time they should be focusing on interacting with people, picking up social skills, and just doing things that will aid their development overall. And smartphones give them a lot of easy access to a lot of things that they may otherwise have to work hard for. For example, it's a lot harder to get information by reading a book compared to just watching a video on phone.
How do you think technology will impact education in the next 10 years?
Well, I think technology has had a huge impact on the way we live our lives, especially in the past. It's changed a lot over the last 10 years itself. I can't imagine life without smartphones now, and many people can't really imagine going about their lives without just being connected to the internet at all. So can't really say technology is not an essential part of our lives now.
Well, what happened here? Did you notice the question? What was the question? How do you think technology will impact education in the next 10 years? So it's a speculation or prediction type of question. But how did the response come? The response came referring to the past as well as the present. Moreover, the question contained a keyword, the impact of technology on education, but that aspect was not addressed in the response. So shall we try listening to the right version? Here we go.
Well, I think technology has become completely integrated into the way we deliver education nowadays. So over the next 10 years, it's going to change even more with the rise of online education and the increasing integration of technological aspects into every single part of an educational course. I think it's going to be even more integral to every aspect of education that's delivered now. Especially in the future, it's going to be even more involved.
How often do people in your country go out to eat at restaurants?
Well, I like going out to restaurants, and most of the people I know in general also like going out to restaurants. They provide a really nice ambience and a different kind of setting for having meals together with your friends and family than just having it at home. So I'd say restaurants are generally really popular in India nowadays.
Okay, here also the candidate spoke fluently and confidently, and the candidate stated the preferences of people regarding eating out at restaurants, and even he stated his personal preference. But what was the mistake? See, the question was asked, or the question demanded frequency. How often people in your country do like to eat out in restaurants? But that aspect was not covered. Whenever a frequency related word appears in the question, the response should also contain frequency related vocab. So let's see how candidate does this. Let's listen to this right response.
Well, in my country, people like to go out to restaurants perhaps once a week or so, because restaurants, while they have a very nice setting for people to have meals in, they can be a bit expensive at times, and a lot of people in India also prefer home cooked meals very often. So I know some people that do like going out to restaurants very often, but in general people do prefer going out to them maybe once a week.
How important do you think is it for young adults to have the habit of reading?
Well, reading books can be very helpful for a lot of people, and especially for older people, I think they can find a lot of gratification by just reading books. And there's a lot to explore with books, because there's a lot of different genres, a lot of different varieties of things you can read about. So personally, I like reading about fiction a lot, because it can transport you to different kinds of worlds, give you lots of different experiences that you may not be able to have normally.
Now, what do you think about this response? Of course, the candidate spoke at length regarding the benefits of reading, how it is helping old people. He also stated his personal choices. But what was the question all about? How important it is for young people to read books? Did he address that part? No. So it lacked coherence. Shall we listen to a right version? Here we go.
Well, I think it's fairly important for young adults to read books very often, because books, just reading them, the act of reading and imagining what is being conveyed by the words there, it helps develop your imaginative powers, your way of critical thinking, your creative skills. So there's a lot of benefits to reading books, and I'd say this is exactly why young people should spend as much of their time reading as possible. So I'd say it's very important.
Well, you might be someone who has good command over the language with excellent fluency, pronunciation, rich vocabulary, and good grammar control. However, lack of coherence can impact your total IELTS speaking score. Therefore, it's crucial that you listen to the question carefully, understand the meaning, and give your response relevant to the question. Thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned until we release our next video.
MedCity International Academy. Trusted hands forever.